had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 females in his bedroom. Maybe not 8, but it was definitely way more than 3. I've been going back and forth deciding if I wanted to tell this story, because like a lot of my friends, they ask me what happened, and like they think it's just such a funny story because it's kind of out of character for me. So I don't know, but like the people involved in the story, there's drama, you know, but I really don't care. It's like it's in the past. They have nothing to do with me anymore, so I'm gonna tell y'all the story. But because I don't want any drama, I don't want any text messages, tweets, DMs, Snapchats coming to me from these people, I'm going to change their name. So there's no reason for you to hit me up. Alright, let's get on with this story. Dealt with this guy for about a year and some odd months. And we were never a boyfriend-girlfriend situation. We talked every day. We texting. I would go see him on campus. He came here a few times, hang out with me. We kicked it. We went to the movies, I think once. Yeah, like that was the extent of our relationship, communication, situationship, whatever you want to call it. So I'm still thinking, like, he's like, well, I'm not talking to anybody else. I only fucks with you. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not talking to anybody else either. So, you know, in my mind, stupid me, I'm thinking, all right, well, even though he didn't specifically say I want you to be my girlfriend, and I never specifically told him I want you to be my boyfriend, we were doing boyfriend girlfriend things, like as far as the hanging out and stuff goes. So I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna be faithful to you, and I'm assuming you're faithful to me because you said you were, so we're good. We were going through a little something anyways. Like we got in an argument or a disagreement about something. We hadn't spoken in about 2 days. So we were texting. It was like a plan to like hang out with each other again or whatever, because my best friend stayed on campus. So my best friend, I would be on campus all the time to go visit her. And we go swimming, we kick it, you know, instead of hang out with my girls, I go hang out with him because he was on campus, he lived on campus. So it was all good. All my girls know about him, they see us around, like that was who I was kind of claiming. So they were like, okay, cool. I was sitting at home one day, and at the time I was living with my roommate, and we were chilling, and we were watching, I don't know what we were watching. I think we were watching India Westbrook's, the Westbrooks TV show on BET. This is how long ago it was. So we were watching that, and I get a phone call from my friend, and she's like, hey, where are you at? What are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm at home with my roommate. We're like watching TV and stuff. And she's like, okay. And you could hear it in her voice, like something was weird. She's like, I just saw, I'm gonna say Trevor. I just saw Trevor, and I was like, oh, really? Where'd you see him? Like, that's not odd. You live on campus, like you're gonna see him. I don't understand why you're calling to tell me this. So she's like, yeah, I saw him with a girl. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, again, no big deal. Trevor is a basketball player. But anyways, she's like, yeah, I saw Trevor with a girl. And I was like, okay, well, that's also not that weird because he's a basketball player, and this particular college has a reputation of their basketball players being hoes, so you know, and a lot of girls talk to the basketball players, so it's not that big of a deal again. So I'm like, okay, so and then she's like, well, his dorm room had a fire drill. And I was like, oh, so I'm instantly kind of, now I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is Trevor okay? What happened? Like, what? He's like, no, like, when they had to clear out of the dorm, he walked out with a girl. And I was like, okay, so the girl was in his dorm room. He has like 3 other roommates, so I'm still not quite at my peak of anger yet. So I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, but when they were walking back into the dorm, he was holding her hand, and then he saw me and he let go of her hand, but he walked back in the dorm room with this girl. I said, okay, are you serious? You know, it went from 0 to 100 real quick. I said, oh, for real? Yeah. What does she look like? Do you know her? Because at the time, there was already rumors of some, I don't even think you could call it infidelity if we weren't together, but in my mind, it was infidelity because we were somewhat together. So there was already some rumors of some other females around, and it was just like, okay, so I'm asking all these questions. Is it this girl? Is it that girl? What does she look like? How long ago was this? She's like, yo, it was just like 5 minutes ago. I said, bet. So I hang up with her, and I'm getting ready to send this long text message just going off like, oh, so much for being the only person you said you were talking to, and blah blah blah, just some regular college high school mess, right? I was getting ready to go off and send this text message, and my roommate, she's staring at me because she's just like,
what happened? Who is it on the phone? What's going on?
And I'm just like, I'm furious, bro. I'm sitting here, I'm like, no, like I'm shaking. I'm just like this nigga really trying to play me. No, this is not how this works. This is not how this works. Like, this was my thoughts. I was mad, right? So my roommate, she's just like, what's going on? So I give her like short story versions of what's happening. My roommate's like,
I'll send him a text message so he can ignore it. He's probably with her right now, like dicking her down or something. You need to go over there.
You're right. Let's go. So we got in her car. Now the campus is literally 5 minutes away. 8 if you catch the red lights. There's about 4 red lights to go through. When I tell you we got there in 3 minutes. Like, she was speeding. Like, she was more mad than I was at the time. That's what was so crazy to me. She was hyping me up. Now, to get on campus, you have to have a student ID, and you have to prove that you go there, because they don't let people on campus after a certain time. So I was like, okay. She actually attended there, so she had her student ID. We drove in, got past security. Then on your way down, they stop you again to have like ID on you. Like, bro, I ran past security because I wasn't trying to stop and find the little student ID that I had. So I was like, nah, I'm about to just we're going. Get to his dorm room. They always leave their door open. Like, I don't know why, but him and his roommates never locked their door. So I was like, I'm not about to bust in here like G.I. Jane. Let me have some type of sense. So I call him. So he answers the phone, which I was really surprised, because I kind of talked myself down. I was like, okay, I'm not this crazy. I'm not about to go in there and act all crazy, but if he doesn't answer the phone, I'm going to assume the worst, and I'm just going to wash my hands with it. If he answers the phone, then okay, we'll go from there. I didn't really have a plan. So I called, not expecting him to answer the phone. He answered the phone. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I had to calm my tone down real quick. I was like, hey, what are you doing?
Nothing, chilling.
Oh, okay. Can you let me in? I'm at your door.
All right.
Mind you, this is the first time I've ever popped up on this man. Like, I have never just shown up and not told him. Like, I don't, or if I didn't tell him, his friend would always see me on campus and shoot him a text and be like, bro, so-and-so's here. And then I'd have to text him after I saw his friend. So even if I didn't want to see him, he always knew I was freaking on campus. So he opens the door for me, and he's kind of looking at me like, okay. I'm still pissed. So my body language is showing I'm pissed. Meanwhile, roommate came in behind me. So he sees my roommate. So he was kind of like, what the hell? So I get in his little room apartment thing, and I'm just like, okay, standing in the kitchen, nothing's going on, but his bedroom door shut. So I start to head towards his bedroom door, and he like pulls me back. Didn't really click that he pulled me back. He's like, what's wrong? So I'm sitting here like, oh, he's just trying to figure out like why I'm so amped up, because I keep trying to head to his bedroom door, and he keeps pulling me back. So he's like, talk to me, like, what's going on? So I'm like, all right. So we sit down on this futon, and I like fall into it. Like, I legitimately fell, and I'm short, and this man is like 6'4". So he's good. I'm tiny. I'm like, I fell into the dang futon. I can't get out if I wanted to. So he's like, what's up? And he's thinking me and my roommate got into it. So he's like, what's up? What happened? And I was like, were you with a girl earlier? And he said, yeah. I was like, okay, all right, we're not lying. That's good, I guess. So then his phone starts going off, and he's standing up, and he's pacing, and he's like, man, what the hell? What's going on? And I'm just like, is the girl in your room right now? And he said,
yeah, son.
Bro. I hopped off that broken ass futon so fast. I tried to over him. Now remember I said he's 6'4", so he just straight stood up and like clotheslined me like by my tummy. I could not go nowhere. I tried to get to his door. I could not get to that door. This man was like, he's strong, like not in no abuse stuff, but like he was just like, chill man, chill, you know. So I start going off on him. I'm yelling, and I can't even tell you what was being said. He's yelling at me, I'm yelling at him. We're just screaming, and it's it's a mess. It is some like love and hip hop, all mixed into one type of thing. It's just crazy. Meanwhile, my roommate's standing outside the door, and she's hearing all this yelling. He's walking me towards the door as we're still yelling at each other, and we get to the door frame. And me and him are still just going off on each other. Don't even know what we're saying to each other at this point. And then he's telling me, oh, she's just helping me study. Whoever this female was kept herself locked in the bedroom. As we're yelling at each other, his friend proceeds to walk up. And his friend has another person with him. And I'm just like, oh, so this was gonna be some type of like movie night or something? His friend's just standing there cracking up. He's just like,
yo,
because this is a game. Like I'm telling you, it is so messy. Even if you're not necessarily messy, now let him tell the story. I'm messy AF. Like I'm the messiest female probably he's ever dealt with. I'm not messy. I haven't had this much drama in my life since I got to college. Not even in high school did I have this much. I thought that I was the only person you were talking to, and I find out I'm not. So my feelings are hurt. I'm pissed. What do you expect me to do? My roommate's standing there, his friend's standing there, and we're all just like, so I have my roommate's car keys in my hands. He kept telling me, oh, you're crazy, you're crazy. Like, all right, I got your crazy, bet. And like, if you do anything to my car, I was like, I wasn't even gonna do anything to your car. When he said it, though, I was thinking about it.
It's something that I'm missing, maybe my head for one. What's worst, looking jealous or crazy, jealous or crazy?
I was like, no, it's on campus. I'm not trying to catch no charges. Left his car alone. Finally, I'm done screaming. We weren't getting anywhere. I leave, and that was that. So, a couple weeks go by, and like, I apologize because, you know, I was mad, so it was me, but at the same time, I don't do pop-ups. I don't like pop-ups. You better text me, you better call me. So on my part, I just kind of felt bad for popping up unexpectedly, but that's all I felt bad for. So I sent my apologies, and you know, like, he curved me. He was just like, yeah, whatever, you know. Word got around. Females started going up to my friend trying to figure out who I was and how long I was in the picture. So my friend's still hitting me up like, oh yeah, bro, so-and-so came up to me and she's trying to be my friend now. And you know, I was not the main one. I don't know if I was the side one. I don't know what the hell I was. I was just in the list somewhere. So some people who don't know me but have heard that story, they kind of want to know, like, didn't you used to mess with, yeah, what happened? Like, you don't seem that crazy. And I'm just like, no, bro, I'm not that crazy. This is what happened, and this is why it happened. Now, I don't know what story you might have heard, but I'm just telling my side of the story. It is what it is. Like, anyways, if you liked this story and you want to hear more, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.